There are all of these dreams that are built up, and so many more on a daily basis. And what happens when in a moment there is something there that challenges or changes this dream that we have held fast to? Now, of course, in college, probably many of us switched our majors once or twice or 5 times. Perhaps many of us dated 1 or 2 or 3 people, or a whole handful of people, on a quest to find someone who might match with us. Perhaps having children took more time than we anticipated, or didn't happen at all. Perhaps parents were lost before we had a chance to sit down and treasure their stories, to really get to know some of the pieces about them. There are those dreams that change, and then we are left wondering, questioning, where is God in this? How is God present in all of this? And I always imagine in those times what it is like to go to sleep one night and have some divine messenger tap me on the shoulder or jog my mind in some incredible way to say, do you see that God is still with you? That in the midst of dreams that are broken or changed or reshaped, in the midst of life not always being as you anticipated, that God is there, working, present, in the mix, and at times shines through in ways that you cannot anticipate. What does it mean for us to take that wisdom from this story? That there in the midst of the reshaping of our lives, that God is still there, touching, transforming, and coming to birth in our lives, in our families, and in our communities. You see, this idea of He saves. I often think that sometimes it's God saying, this one will save you from yourself, from those places where maybe we're veering off, or we have this wondering or dream, but God is redirecting and calling us to be in a new way. God did that with Joseph, calling him to be present to a holy one who is lifted up as anointed, as blessed. Are there times where God is inviting us in the midst of the struggles, the broken dreams in our lives, to hear a word of hope, a word of promise that in the midst, God is still there. Emmanuel, God with us. Now in this Christmas season, there are lots of times for wondering, for struggling. I know that one friend of mine on Facebook took this opportunity to post that he is no longer a Christian. That after 39 years of struggling and going to church and hearing all of the stories and trying to be faithful, that in terms of what is happening in the world and how the Bible is read so literally in congregations and communities, that he just doesn't feel like he is a Christian. He doesn't fit in. And then we get news from Uganda of their government passing legislation as a Christmas present that outlaws miniskirts and homosexuality with a lifetime imprisonment. When we hear those words, think of lives that are being broken. Think of dreams that are being shattered. What does it mean for us to dream a new dream where we truly proclaim that in this season, in each and every day, in our churches, we are here about proclaiming God's love and God's grace to all. that we are going to dream a new dream together in which, in the midst of the brokenness of our world, God enters in, Emmanuel, saying, "You are not alone. I am with you today and always." That becomes an incredible promise, an incredible witness that I want to be part of, that draws me to the manger at Bethlehem. But if we get caught up in dogma or biblical literalism that is a new phenomenon, or if we get caught up in working to destroy or do harm to the lives of others, why go to Bethlehem? I want to dream with Joseph, knowing that my dreams may change, and God may surprisingly change my dreams. But in the midst of that, God is with me. God is with you and with us. And then, well, maybe we have an opportunity to sing in a new way. Then perhaps we can say, "I live the dream in years to come, this one from God in my life sharing, Jesus Emmanuel by name. The world is changed by his great caring. Now I am strengthened in my life by one whose love had been in question. My dream transformed by God's greater plan. I live now in the dream